I could not tell you what Elias's real name is. I could not tell you what Alexa Bliss's real name is. I don't know if Bianca Belair is her real name. I don't know. So all of a sudden, if they're not there tomorrow, and all of a sudden they're, I don't know who they are.
All right, so let's we got a couple fun topics to talk about. We got this is show number 1. We're going to talk about what's riding with Russo. Vince actually came up with this idea to chat with about today, and I think this is a really, really cool idea. So I'm going to go ahead and let you spearhead this episode with the topic that you would like to discuss, and let's go at it, man.
This is very difficult for today's professional wrestler. How do you handle social media? Because this is a hot topic, but of course nobody goes down the rabbit holes we go down, because it's a hot topic. This last week, Taker talked about how it would have been difficult to negotiate, navigate the waters as the Undertaker in social media. We just saw the Bella Twins left WWE, so they are now the Garcia Twins. They are no longer the Bella Twins. Bro, this is a great dilemma for WWE talents, and I'll tell you why. Bro, when you become a WWE talent, they are giving you the platform. They are creating a character for you. They are giving you television time. They are branding you. They are investing a lot of money in you. So when you go on social media, you are WWE Elias, WWE Baron Corbin. And you are to be that person whenever you're on social media. Now, Chris, I 1 billion% get that. But here's the problem. And I will call it the China Lauer problem. Now, Chris, you know darn well, if you get signed to a WWE contract and you're a regular good little hand, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, bro. You're going to have about a 3-year run, okay? And in that 3-year run, bro, you're going to be WWE Elias. And you're going to abide by their rules and play their game because they're giving you the platform. They're giving you the TV time. They're investing a lot of money in you, and rightfully so. But here's the problem, bro. If you're smart, you know darn well you've got a very short shelf life there. And being very close to China, what really hurt China beyond wrestling was she was not allowed to use the name. So all of a sudden, she's going out there looking for work. The people she's having meetings with want to hire China and use China, but unfortunately, she's China Lauer. So what do those people say? Sorry, nobody knows who China Lauer is. And bro, this is China, who was a huge star. If she even tried to rebrand herself China Doll, Chris, remember that? And that was an absolute fiasco. So bro, the dilemma is, how do you play by their rules? Knowing, okay, bro, in 3 or 4 years, they're just going to cut bait with me, and everybody knows I was Elias, but now that I have to go by my real name, nobody is going to know who the heck I am. I had this conversation with Disco this past week. I said, bro, I guarantee you, if you were still going by the Disco Inferno, you would have 3 times the followers on social media. Bro, they don't know who Glenn Gilberti is. So, bro, think about that. How do the talent navigate those waters, knowing they got a short lifespan, but getting out to the public who they really are? Bro, Enzo. We knew Enzo at WWE. He's got some gimmick name now.
NZO now.
Yeah, whatever. But like, bro, like seriously, man, this is a problem. Because once you leave, bro, and you're no longer that brand, bro, half of your audience is going to cut off. Chris, think about this. And they had 15 years on WWE. Think about this. All of a sudden, when the Garcia twins are now going to get brought up, you think people are going to know what we're talking about? They're not going to have a clue who the Garcia twins are. So, like, I'm asking you, Chris, because I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that, but I do know if I was under the WWE umbrella, I somehow, some way would want to get out there my persona of who I'm going to be after WWE.
I agree with you 100%. I think the biggest thing for these, and I think you made a really good point when it comes to shelf life. I think the biggest thing within these characters in the WWE is that they need to learn how to, I would even suggest taking classes on branding, because branding is a major thing. If you're basically using the machine of WWE to help you with your name, image, and likeness, basically, and you're starting to grow in popularity and start to gain a following, you're going to have to make a turn and figure out, like, when do I make that pivot, like that subtle pivot, for people to start knowing who I am, start selling merch and start tweeting a lot and things like that. Just really started to have like Q&As, like branding and marketing things for people to know who you are. I would even suggest Twitch, like Twitch lives and things like that, because if you are only tweeting and using social media based on retweeting like WWE events and doing things, retweeting moments that you had in WWE, when you get separated from that, what are you retweeting now? So, and you haven't built a brand on social media at that point. I think, like, I really respect the Bella twins, Garcia twins, because they were able to cash out on their WWE run. I highly respect someone like the Bella twins or the Garcia twins, because now the timing was right. The time that, like, they have their clothing line and they have, they have their own brand now, a really good, really successful YouTube channel, things like that are times where you need to, like, start to make that pivot, knowing that it's not going to last forever, and using that social media following to gain the audience. Knowing it's inevitable. Like you said, it's inevitable. It's not about if, it's about when you're going to separate from the WWE. Have you used their influence to help your brand? It's like someone basically saying, say if you wanted to start your own baseball company, Vince, and what happens is you start to get all the notes, you start being like an assistant manager for a reputable baseball company, or you start to have that type of influence within a machine that's been already established. You start being a part of the baseball team or whatever, and then you break away and then you get your own company, but you're taking notes, you're branding, you're using that machine to help you with your vision. A lot of people don't do that, and I think people should do, because you and I both agree that a lot of times, kayfabe is dead when it comes to social media, and people don't know how to make that differentiation, but they can still stay in character and still gain a branding and a following, knowing that they're going to split away from the WWE and cash out on that. You got to cash out, man.
I mean, bro, I am in the industry, okay? Bro, I could not tell you what Elias's real name is. I could not tell you what Alexa Bliss's real name is. I don't know if Bianca Belair is her real name. I don't know. So all of a sudden, if they're not there tomorrow, and all of a sudden I don't know who they are.
Yeah. I think that there's certain people who, like Adam Cole and things like that, they've garnered a really good Twitch following. So it doesn't matter who. And I would even suggest, because then I would have your own lawyer and see what you can do as far as, like, getting the license. I mean, getting rights to your name. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily legally change my name like Ryback did. Like Ryback was like, screw it. Look, I'm Ryback. I'm being branded as Ryback. So I'm going to legally change my name to Ryback Reeves. And so like he was like, I don't care. I'm going to do it. Nikita Koloff did the same thing.
Yeah, well, Warrior kind of did the same
Warrior.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. He actually changed his name from Jim Hellwood to Warrior. So, I mean, it's one of those things that if you know this is going to be your cash cow and this is your career, do you change your name? Do you buy the rights to the name? Is it worth going through the legal process? And I would argue to say, if this is your moneymaker, I would say if you got the money in WWE, hire you a good lawyer while you're in the WWE to if and most likely when they split from you, you get the rights to that name and you go through the legal process to get that to help your brand from a social media standpoint.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, very important, bro. I don't think a lot of people understand that, but they're going to understand it, bro, when they're on the other side.
That's true. Well, I mean, you see that a lot of that now, Vince. You see like formerly known as, right?
Yeah.
They'll say, formerly known as this, formerly known as that. And it's like you're hitting the indie shows and they'll say such and such formerly known as, or you can't even, you have to do that on the graphics. You have to do that in the announcements. You have to do that everywhere. And it's like, why don't you just go through the legal process to keep that brand? I had a conversation with a friend this past weekend as far as like people changing their brand, changing their names, and and being able to like kind of change their persona if they leave. And I'm like, that's not look, if your persona is your brand and it's successful, you don't necessarily have to change it, because you do get kind of pigeonholed as a character if that's you. But if it's you though. Like Batman's not going to change his character. Superman's not going to change his character. Spider-Man's not going to change his character. Whether he's 35 or 85, he's going to be Superman and Spider-Man. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. What I mean? Like Mercedes Moné, she's just a different name. She still has the same character as Sasha Banks. She's just a different name. And that's the reason why characters matter, right? Because if Sasha Banks, if she was just Mercedes Moné and she just changed her name just to change her name, but her character wasn't as impressive as it was when she's in the WWE, it would just look like a knockoff. Yeah. But it doesn't look like a knockoff now because her character was so good that she helped she was given it, but she really put legs behind it. She really grew the character. And that's the reason why a lot of these wrestlers who are just about wrestling, all right. I mean, like if you want to be just about wrestling and you don't want to hone into that character, we'll see what that happens on the other side there.
Absolutely. You want to be just about wrestling. What are you going to sell outside of wrestling?
Exactly. Exactly. What type of merchandise are you going to sell? Are you going to sell flips and kicks and, so I think it's important to your point, Vince. I think it's really, really important to have that character and to have that branding from a social media standpoint. Now, it's interesting because I guess my question to you when it comes to that is how far do you go deep into your social media out of kayfabe in order to garner that audience, in your opinion? Because I know you have an issue with people taking like heels taking pictures, with Dominic taking a picture with his girlfriend and things like that, and
well, see, that's the thing, bro. A lot of that comes from bro, and listen, I understand it's human nature, but now you're at the level where you are a pro, bro. That's them wanting to be liked. That's them wanting to be over. Like, I swear to God, like it cracks me up sometimes when you have heels that are doing a really good job and they are hated as heels. But they want people in real life to know, no, that's not really me. Look, I'm married to a rock star, or I'm here with my kitten. It's like, bro, like I get it. I understand it, but you're supposed to be a pro, man. And when you're a pro, bro, you've got to put ego aside. You've got to put feelings aside. It's got to be business.